Hello ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise. I'm Lamar Haven. Welcome back to Ogre Battle 64. We have some business to take care of in Dardalis, but first I want to double check something on the organized screen. See, I think that IGN win can be added at the moment, but he actually cannot. I'm going to go ahead and try and double check with the other units that I have to make sure that I can get this done. But the fact of the matter is, I can't do it without completely rearranging some of the groups and completely destroying a lot of the formations. Also, I'm making the point that, as you might notice, there aren't very many chaotic units that are very useful for females. With the Dragon Tamer being lawful, and the Archer being neutral, we just don't have many chaotic units, except for Sorceress and Witch. Which is bad, because... Which is bad. That's just wonderful. Anyway, I need a spellcaster unit in Dio's group, which is probably going to be IGN Wind. But at the moment, this is one of the few characters that I could justify making it, Garcia, and that's not going to happen. So you might notice already my commentary seems a little out of place. There's a reason for that. This is post-commentary. My Mike somehow decided to up the gain on my when I was talking last time, and it ruined everything. So let's go on to Scene 8, the Infernal Aura. And very sorry that I'm having to do post-commentary, but I just can't re-record the entire episode over again. It wouldn't work very well. Southern Region, Aka Castle. It's been a while, Godesalas. Sir Baldwin, it is nice to see you again. What brings you here? Do you need to take care of some business? The southern region is in terrible condition. Am I to be punished? No, I didn't come here for that. But the triumvirate is taking the matter very seriously. Punishment is inevitable. Nope, I messed up pronunciation of that tone too in the previous recording. I personally believe that it wasn't completely your fault. And you have been good to me for a long time. There is a way to put a quick end to the revolution and redeem yourself. Are you willing to try it? What is that? This will grant you power. There are some risks involved, though. So that the Baldwin character, if you look at his character profile later, you notice he's from Lotus. Reporting as requested, sir. Long time no see. Lamar, right? You're... Dustin the Valiant. Also known as the protagonist of one of the previous Ogre Battle games. Yeah, I didn't know that until I did this LP, started this LP. Last time we met, we were still on opposing sides. I'm Destin Feroda. Glad to make your acquaintance. Me too. I apologize for the other day. Huh? I lashed out at you without understanding the intentions of the Revolutionary Army. Oh, that. No big deal. You're here with me, by your own will. That's the important thing. Thank you, Justin. Alright, next topic. There's a reason we wanted you to come here. Currently, the reinforcements from the Central Division are headed for Ogre Castle. I want you to liberate the area and prepare for the encounter with the enemy reinforcements. And at the same time, we will conduct the assault on Ogre Castle. I see. Leave this area to me. We're relying on you. Now let me explain the details. Let's get started. Town of Romella will be our headquarters for this operation. Fort Akissus, a day and a half to the east, is our destination. We must liberate the fort. You can either travel east, through the mountains, or you can go to the north and liberate Melfi, then travel the road east. There are unconfirmed rumors that the Southern Division has sent reinforcements here. There is no way for us to verify that. Be very careful. And of course, we're going to do both. We're also going to do one other thing. Yeah, it won't end very well. It is all up to us whether the revolution succeeds or fails. The course of the revolution depends on the outcome of this operation. Okay, so we have to head over and take over Fort Akissus. Whereas the invasion of our headquarters or my death means loss, as per usual. Start the mission. Now, the first thought, of course, is to dispatch everybody and get them to the right positions. But I've got to check where they're going to have to go. First, there's Melfi. Morale, pretty high. So we're going to want to send a lawful unit up there. I'm going to probably send me. Then there's Bengasu, which is chaotic, which moves on to that place, which is very lawful. You might have noticed 78 morale. Yeah, it's gonna be rough starting to want to liberate everywhere. Dardalis, which is perfectly neutral. Then you have really chaotic, that town. And I forgot to pause, so we're already in trouble. Dollmaster O'Neill, neutral, and a blue dragon, neutral. So the thought, of course, is to send Troy. So Troy's unit is going to head after him. I'm going to, at some point, have to bite the bullet with Troy and choose an alignment. But I'm going to do that after they've gotten their upgraded classes. Like after I get a Diana from the archers, and after Troy and whoever's with him become a cataphract, which is an upgraded version of a phalanx. And from there, I'm probably going to have one alignment-based class with them. Probably a cleric, I'm thinking. So Kodro is going to go to the east because he's going to head across the mountains, is the idea. The mountainous area just makes sense to send him. I'm sending Dio and the others because I'm going to need a lot of chaotic units going that way. Vega is also going to go with them, with Bolt, and Leia, myself, and Morris's unit are going to go north. That way, nice and spread out, we have all the alignments we need, and Troy should be intercepting O'Neill. So yay us. Then we immediately see other units, but we don't get to do that yet. Bolt gets to fight O'Neill. Fight it out. Go, Bolt, go. So, good start. We're able to keep our unit nice and healed, and only get minor damage inflicted to us by O'Neill and his unit. Not a terribly big threat, especially when you have a healer. To compensate, of course the alignment gets all screwed up. We immediately get a soldier upgrade, which is fun and all. Doesn't really help this group. They don't really have the formation for another male unit unless it's a ranged one. The only ranged male units are chaotic. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do some refiguring on who's gonna go where. And then we have this. Goblin, and Ogre? Obviously our scouting information must be completely false. There's no way that's possible. So let's head in and prove to ourselves that couldn't possibly be the case while Troy hunts down O'Neill's unit. Go, Troy, go! Yep, you're in a somewhat more ideal formation when we attack you this way, but doesn't really matter when your main source of damage is Doll Masters. They're not known for their damage output, you see. Climb up and level gained. That is going to be my mantra forever. Level up, alignment gained. So Troy is going to mindlessly keep attacking O'Neill, while Bolt takes on Abel. But something more is around. Looks like one of our units, or a revolutionary soldier, has found another one. He's a soldier from the Southern Central Division. I knew about reinforcements, but who did this before we even arrived? Help! Someone help me! This is bad. Oh dear. Yes! Those are ogres. Bastards! Welcome to the namesake of the series, folks. Is that the Southern Division? Everybody, get ready. What the hell? Ogre? That's right, Ogre. Flanked by goblins, actually. Flanked by a goblin, I should say. Then the other goblins in the back. Goblins are basically your knight unit of the netherworld. Ogres are golems. Yeah. So we need to take out their leader as fast as possible. We can't have this unit running around doing whatever they want with us. Ooh, and Bolt does a wonderful guard. Does exactly what his class is meant to do. Keeps himself safe by guarding the attacks. And that ogre got 3 attacks, hence why we lose. Because they are really strong. They're more powerful than golems. They're so scary. And Dio immediately gets an attack in, which is kind of bad. See, he's a chaotic unit. And ogres are chaotic. But they're strong enough that it's very unlikely we're going to kill anybody with this attack. Haven, this is post-commentary. Don't you know exactly what's going to happen? Not beat by beat. Heard it a full hour, like 10 minutes. Cut me some slack. Anyway, he's going to weaken the unit, which is good. Which is great. That's a very good idea. Get him out of the way, get the ogres out of the way. Like I said, you can only not go after the leader of group units really early in the game. From then on, you gotta go all out. So now we have this unit, which is a knight and a wizard with 2 neutral fighters. So that means pretty much anybody can fight him. A chaotic unit would be best, because you're probably going to kill the knight before you're going to kill the wizard. And there's Melfi, which we need a lawful unit to be able to liberate it. And we need a lawful unit to be able to stop the sorceress. So, might as well be me. Of course, the Platinum Dragon and the Fairy are very lawful and the sorceress is chaotic. But hopefully if I kill the sorceress, I won't kill the other 2, and I'll get the alignment I need, and then Morris's unit can finish this one off and get the alignment they want. Whew. Magic Missile. Owie. I'm sorry if you hear, once in a while, me take a drink of water, but commentating this, getting ready to edit, and then realizing I have to commentate again, it's a little rough on my poor throat. So pretty much everybody got the alignment I wanted. The knight didn't, but what are you going to do? So that sends the unit pretty much exactly where we want it, and Vega has been sent to finish off this unit in its entirety, because lawful unit hunting down ogres, I'm okay with that. Hopefully we can break through to that ogre and get some real damage in soon, but in the meantime, taking out the goblins is good enough. The goblins, I think, are actually neutral. They don't have chaotic alignment. So you might be wondering, Haven, is there a way to get these amazing, powerful units? And the answer is, absolutely. If you have Love and Peace, the thing I mentioned before that lets you mind control a character from a different unit, yep, you can use that on them. Heads up, though, it's gonna be tough. You only get so many. and it's random, if it even works. So, alright, and there we have a red dragon, a blue dragon, and a sorceress. So sorceress is chaotic, obviously, you need a lawful unit to kill her, and then the dragons are anyone's game. But now that that town's liberated, let's head inside. You're going to Latium. Well, you aren't. This is the crossroads of Dardalis, connecting Alba, Capitrium, and Latium. It's a melting pot of peoples and cultures. You have to pass through here if you want to go anywhere in Palatinus. I'm sure you'll be here often. He's actually right. I believe we might come to this map 3 times over the course of the game. This being our first, obviously. So, yeah, and this is, this also has something very interesting in the neutral. The area investigation. Speaking of neutral stuff! Yeah! This unit was down there just sitting on the neutral, sitting right next to the neutral town. It's such a BS move, and it's such a hard unit. But in the meantime, hopefully Dio can kill this knight and break through the other side and get something done. Unfortunately, Aznabo is looking pretty hurt, so if they focus fire him, we're in trouble. Thankfully, he's also one of the strongest berserkers I've got, so if they do focus fire him, he's still going to put forth a lot of damage. Oof. But we're fine. They spread out the damage enough, and Dio got a free win. More soldier experience. Woot! So I'm probably going to send somebody to go after that unit and finish it off if possible. In the meantime, I'm thinking, should Leia go after this unit? And I figured that might be the best idea, because I already got some decent experience on my team, and it's already the highest, strongest. Pumpkin heads. These are very unique monster units. Yes, we can get them on our team, and you might really want them on your team. You'll see why in a bit. Meantime, Troy is going to try and take on this goblin unit with a Hellhound and a Beastmaster. Yeah, this is, except for the formation, this is a really optimized unit. I mean, wow. And they go straight for my weakest character and wipe him out. It's brutal. So, Troy's already in trouble. But we've almost managed to take out their leader. Doesn't matter if he has to run away, though. And the archer, you might have noticed, is really low health. You might have noticed. I didn't. I'm trying to run Troy away because I'm trying to figure... And now, Bolt, also, I'm trying to make sure that Bungasu doesn't need him to liberate it. And it doesn't. It's a chaotic town. So I'm going to send Bolt backwards to try and help Troy. In the meantime, I also need to find out where the witch's den is. Alright, Dio liberates Bungasu. What the hell name is Bungasu? I have no idea. Central Division has sent reinforcements. You afraid? What are you gonna do? You really gonna liberate Palatinus? Buddy, we're gonna liberate the hell out of this place. Now, I'm gonna have Kojiro keep heading to the stronghold and let Dio and him fight over who gets to fight the unit incoming, because that way they have a better position on the field. But that's bad. It just powered up. They're the only physical attacker on their team, so yeah, it dealt quite a bit of damage to Morris. But Morris is tough. He'll be fine. And that was a combination attack. Now, it's actually... Notice how she just cast that singular, and it was still just a fireball spell. But when they cast it together, there was that extra damage, and it sort of exploded outward. Yeah, that's... It was still a combination attack, but because they both have the same spell, it was just an improved version of the same spell. I thought it would actually make it advanced magic, because there's 2 levels of magic that a sorceress and a wizard can use. Normal magic and advanced magic. I thought it would upgrade it to advanced magic. I was wrong. But it will still combine into very interesting effects if you have multiple elements that are different elements together. I haven't shown healing magic that actually combines yet, but that's because I think it's overkill to have more than one cleric in a party. Especially when they upgrade. When they become the upgrade version of a cleric, holy cow, they heal a lot. So, I don't really think it's all that necessary. And double healing in the early game, you've got to have some really powerful attackers that have really low defense to justify that. And usually that's the chaotic units, berserkers. So, 3 berserkers, 1 and 2 clerics? That is such a random group. I'm gonna put my water down because I feel like it keeps vibrating and making the quality worse. Which is exactly what I've been trying to avoid after what happened last time. Yeah, I've had to turn the gain down on my microphone by half because of what happened. It's a headache, but it happens. Voice crack. Yeah, this is weird. Notice how my ninja keeps gaining alignment and my Valkyrie keeps lowering? It's super weird. Now, I want the ninja to gain alignment because it's not going to stay a ninja. It's going to become a lawful unit. Character. It's a Valkyrie? Is that necessary? I hope that voice crack was somewhat intentional because I'm not entirely sure now. Ugh. Anyway, that one was intentional. So with that, the sorceress gone, we got the kill we need to gain our alignment. And the dragons are now the problem. Boy, are they a problem. So I'm going to have a couple of specialist units that I'm going to train off-screen and create off-screen. One is going to be a flying unit. I think one is probably going to be a dragon unit. And one might be a golem unit. But that also means having 3 characters, a dragon, upgraded Hawkman, and a Dollmaster. All characters, all extra characters. I don't really have extra characters right now. I'm still using soldiers in groups, see? Away. But Asdabel and Dio have this covered. Thankfully, they're not going to kill the wizard, so they shouldn't gain alignment from this. But they are looking pretty hurt, and Dio got some nice free soldier experience and should rest up. But that said, that unit's not going anywhere for a while, and Leia still has a fight to finish. Swing! And that's that. Good. Everything's working as planned. So it seems like Leia and my unit are probably the strongest. Bolt's probably next on the list. Vega is going to be next to that. And I'm going to say Dio and Troy. Well, Morris is pretty high on the list too. Then Dio and Troy are under that. The only reason why I put Dio that low, and Dio and Troy that low, is one, Troy, poor guy, he just keeps getting owned. And same with Dio, but Dio, that's because they still have soldiers. And I want to take care of that. So it might be in between episodes, because I do have to do some things in between episodes. I might take them into area investigation and gain the soldier experience. Morris's group obviously still has a soldier. Doesn't bother them. Doesn't bother them in the slightest. Wait, something here. Power fruit. Nothing useful. Go rest, Sophia. You've earned it. Yeah, I'm having Troy run. Unfortunately, I can't see who he's running from. And Vega found a heal seed. Nah. So next episode is probably... Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention something I mentioned beginning of the last video. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I'm going to have to be splitting the videos when I make part 1 and part 2. I'm going to have to be uploading them on separate days from now on, making them a normal part of the schedule. Now, the reason for this is just I cannot keep up with editing, creating, editing, and everything a video that's more than an hour long per day, which is essentially what I'm doing when I upload multi-part episodes. So I'm going to keep my numbering system the way it works now. One scene is still going to be one episode. but it's going to be part 1 and part 2, and say this video comes out on, I think, Friday. Part 2 is going to be coming out on Monday. I know it sucks that you guys aren't going to get as many videos as quickly, but I just can't keep up with school here. So with that said, Bolt here is going to try and take on this unit that was giving Troy so much trouble. However, yeah, Bolt got owned, which is really bad. And that Beastmaster, the Beast Tamer, the one guy who was weak, completely hidden and unable to be killed by this team because they don't have any ranged. So we lost, and we lost Bolt at that. But don't worry, we can save him. Bolt's gonna be okay. It's okay, Bolt. First thing you have to do in a situation like this is you go to change leader. Thankfully, we have Bento as our backup. Bento's a seasoned leader of this group, so he knows exactly what to do. So we're gonna try and send him away to not get him out of the trouble. But Troy's in danger now, and he's not in a good way. But hopefully if he takes on that unit head-on, he'll be able to kill that Beast Tamer before anything else happens. Vega, however, is still doing work on this poor Ogre team. Fight it out. So I made a speech a few videos ago about my understanding of how emulation works, and it turns out that that isn't true across the board, or it might be just a source of misinformation. Now, I'm not 100% of this. This is something I read on Reddit one day, but Nintendo themselves spoke up about emulation and basically said no emulation ever. But Nintendo's also the ones that are being kind of asshats about YouTube in general, you know? So I'm not really sure I want to take their word on it, because the way they treat copyright and stuff like that is pretty brutal. And I honestly just don't see the problem with emulation. It just doesn't seem like a big deal to me. I don't equate it with piracy in the same way that you might think I should, so I don't think it's a big deal. But here's the problem! Look at poor little Troy! Yeah, we just lost another character in his unit. But he did that right there. That's the big thing. You're gonna see why that is so important right there. Because, as you might realize, Troy's the last man standing on our home stronghold. So what happens when he gets beaten? That happens. We can save this, and we will. So I'll see you in the next part. Thank you very much.